All right, picture this. Portland, the city of roses. A night that kicks off with polite handshakes and, not so subtle threats is about to completely unravel. 7 outsiders, the guests of honor at this fancy party, are about to be thrown right into the middle of a crisis that could rip this entire city apart.
So, you hear this command just screamed into a room that's gone dead silent. The big question is, how did we get to this point? I mean, how does a brand new crew in town end up with the city's most critical mission on their very first night?
Okay, so let's rewind a bit. Earlier that night, the whole thing starts at the Pittock Mansion, this gorgeous, opulent place overlooking the city. A party is thrown, and on the surface, it's all about welcoming this new group to Portland. But you just know, right? Every smile is a mask. Every single conversation is a test.
And in they walk. A 7-person team, a coterie, sent by the powers that be to check out what's going on in the city. From the second they step into that grand hall, you can just feel the eyes on them. They're being sized up by all the locals. They're the main event. And yeah, they know it.
And man, what a crew this is. It's this wild mix of skills, right? You've got Zane, the DJ. He's the charismatic face of the whole operation, the one meant to charm his way through anything. Then there's the Undertaker, the enforcer, the muscle, who barely has to say a word with his dog Rex at his side. You've got Matt, the quiet observer, who probably sees more than anyone else. Josh was there too, but he's kind of on his own personal mission looking for someone. And then you have the political heavyweights. Stefan, who's got this powerful family line, Sai, who is just unafraid to cut straight to the chase, and Kinda, the pro-organizer from Chicago's court, holding it all together. This team was, let's be honest, built for something complicated.
So their first job, before they can even get an audience with the prince, is to figure out the local landscape. And in a city of vampires, getting the lay of the land isn't about memorizing street names. It's about understanding who pulls the strings and why.
And for this party, there are some very strict rules. The mansion has been declared Elysium. Now, what does that mean? It's basically a sacred neutral ground. No violence, no overt use of powers. Just politics. Think of it like a demilitarized zone for the powerful, where your words are your weapons and your alliances are your armor. It's this super thin layer of civility, and trust me, everyone in that room knows just how fast it can be ripped away.
So to figure out who's who, the newcomers have to wade through 3 big factions, all jockeying for power. First up, you've got the conservatives. These are the old-school traditionalist types who want to keep things just the way they've always been. Then you have the futurists, who are all about tech and money, looking to cash in on the city's Silicon Forest. And finally, you have the artists. These are the avant-garde types, fiercely loyal to the prince, who see themselves as the city's cultural soul. So you've got 3 totally different philosophies, all circling each other in the same room.
Every handshake, every bit of whispered gossip they picked up, it was all building towards this one critical moment, getting a formal introduction to the city's ruler, the mysterious Prince Neve.
And you can see how the night was structured to lead right up to this. They get there, they get ready, and then they spend a solid hour just working the room, feeling out the different factions. After this pretty weird avant-garde performance, the main event kicks off. They get the summons to the prince's private audience.
The meeting itself, man, it was cold, formal, brief, and just icy. Prince Neve hardly says a word. She's like this porcelain doll on a throne, just letting her inner circle do all the talking. These newcomers, they aren't welcomed. They're being judged, and you could cut the tension with a knife.
And then, in walks the sheriff. This guy is a mountain of a man, wearing a fur coat, and he doesn't mince words. He lays out the law in the bluntest way you can imagine. And this just perfectly shows you the real power dynamic here. You follow our rules, or we kill you. Zero subtlety. Just a cold, hard threat.
And just to really hammer that point home, they're given their feeding rights. Now, this wasn't some kind of welcome gift. No, this was a leash. They're told they can only feed in the downtown core and only on transients. The people nobody would miss. It was a total power move, a calculated insult to make it crystal clear where they stood in the city's hierarchy, right at the bottom.
So just as our newcomers are trying to swallow this insult, the entire, carefully built-up vibe of the party just shatters in a single instant. This messenger, kind of scruffy looking, one of the prince's own, just bursts into the room. He drops to his knees, whispering frantically to her. The weird music just stops, like mid-note. And suddenly, every single person in that mansion is staring at the prince. The prince gets to her feet,
and that cold, calm look is just gone. It's replaced by this mask of pure fury and terror, and she screams her command, not to one person, but to the entire room. Her child, the one person she's supposed to protect above all else, has been taken.
And what happens next is just wild. It takes maybe 45 seconds, that's it, and the entire party is gone. Dozens of the city's most powerful figures, who were just ordered to find the prince's child, all suddenly had somewhere else to be, and they leave our 7 newcomers standing there, all alone, in this huge, empty mansion.
So yeah, the entire court just bailed on them. One second they're guests, the next, they're either the city's last hope, or, more likely, the perfect people to blame if things go wrong.
The prince shows up again in the doorway, and all that rage is now pointed directly at them. That command to find her child, it's not a general announcement anymore. It is a direct order, given to the only people left in the room to hear it. Their little investigation just became mandatory.
Okay, so let's break it down. Here's where we're at. The prince's child, Anthony, is missing. Kidnapped. He was supposed to be at a club performing, but he never made it. And now this group of 7 outsiders, who literally just got to town, are on the hook to find him. I mean, welcome to Portland, right?
And to start this impossible task, they have exactly one lead. A single piece of information. The name of the club where Anthony was last seen. A place called Blow Pony. That is it. That is all they have to go on in a city that has already made it very clear it wants nothing to do with them.
And that leaves us with the million-dollar question, doesn't it? They're totally alone. Nobody trusts them. And they've just been handed a suicide mission that their own survival depends on. In a city built on secrets, who on earth can they possibly turn to for help?